2, 3, 4.
The world was so big, and I was so small. Your voice was always the loudest of all. Don't do that.
I can't help it, man. You got me.
The ducks.
You got me into something that I was not properly prepared for.
It was great that I got you that night with the ducks and you laughed.
Yes, and then I got you back with the cat, which
Yes.
is I feel like that's totally on brand for Michael C. Morona. Is a cat lapping in front of a microphone,
Right up my alley.
Right.
And the best part is that the cat is so happy. The cat's purring. There's water. Lip, 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 purr. Stop purring. It was like, it was such a weird thing because I've never heard like a purr, like, you know, like you're turning your car off and it's just like,
Power down.
Yeah.
it's like a total power down.
I'm not a cat man, but
You?
I'm trying not to hate. Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I don't know. I like them, but I'm allergic.
Catman Balin?
Yeah, I'm a dog dude.
You're a dog dude?
I'm a dog dude.
You're not a cat man.
No. Now that we
He's
got,
not a cat.
He's not a cat. Yeah,
He's
that's
not
great.
the cat man.
Nice job.
Nice
Nice
should I let
connection.
myself out?
Yes, and then after you do that, let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome to the Daily Adventures of Danny and Mike. To my right, Mr. Michael C. Morona.
Hello, it's me
To his
again.
right, Mr. Danny Tamborelli with the horrible jokes.
I got a lot of them.
You could just have jokes.
Be here all day. Yes. And my name's Jeremy. Thanks so much for tuning in to this mini-sode.
I think we're here to hear your jokes at this time.
Well, I think it's a collection of jokes. No, either way, let's just work our way.
I would
through
just
it.
like to count how many times we tell each other to go home or leave or get out.
Well, that's
I'm at one, so we'll see.
Well, you're not at one.
I let myself out. is
No, we've
basically
kicked
what
you
I
out
said.
several times. I have kicked you out
More
at
than
least
once,
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy
dad
is
jokes, 'cause you transitioned.
Jeremy has honestly kicked me out twice.
A dozen times.
Both times with
No,
our friend.
I am not talking about that. I'm talking about in this podcast studio. I have said the words "get out" at least 3 times. At least 3.
Are you
for the
talking
listener,
about seeing
Jeremy is
Are you-
putting up 4
Are you
fingers.
talking
I
about
don't know
seeing
why.
the movie Get Out?
Only did that once. Yes.
Okay.
You
Great
only
though.
need to
I
see
recommend it.
once.
I think you could see it again. It's very
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. It's a great movie. I got to see us.
Let's
Speaking of audiovisual, I don't know. It's not a good transition, but how about we haven't listened to some voicemails in a while, gentlemen? You
Oh,
wanna take a
voicemail
listen?
episode? Is
Yeah.
that what you'd like to do?
What do you think?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's
Do
do
you
it.
have
Let's
it all?
get-
Do you have it all put together this time? I know last time was a little rickety. Did you go through and
No.
make sure that we have?
We believe in your ability to click, Jeremy. Click away.
gonna
Flying by the
click
seat
away
of my
being
pants.
like, did we listen to this one from November of last year? Yeah, we probably did.
Honestly, we may have listened to this one, but I don't think we have.
Let's do it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Jorge.
What's up, Jorge?
I'm born and raised in Queens, New York, so I guess Danny might have something to say about that. As a Brooklyn, I guess, transplants, as you from Jersey, if
Ouch.
I remember correctly.
Yeah, but my mom is from Queens, dude. I don't want to hear that shit.
I think he's talking
I
about you.
guess I got 2 questions, potentially 3, if anything.
Okay.
I hope it goes well, Jorge.
So, I guess in my case, at least, or in my immediate group of friends, I'm the rare one that sticks out because I'm actually a fan of Pete and Pete from way back when, because I had cable, even though it was the illegal cable box.
Hey,
Yeah,
whatever
the
works.
illegal
And
cable
I
box
remember
works,
watching you
dude.
guys growing up. Completely, just stumble upon you one day and just, loving the show since then because it was so quirky.
Thank you for stumbling.
In its approach, like ahead of its time. So, first question would be,
First question.
what do
It's a
you
big lead up.
maybe not hate more, but what irks you more?
Irks.
A fan that's overly obsessed with the show, knows way too much more than he or she should,
Eh.
and tries to question you about like a specific scene,
No, what irks me most is a guy who takes a long time to ask the question.
episode, and I try to really, really dig deep into what your mind state was.
It's all good,
how you
Jorge.
felt, how many takes, et cetera, versus the fan that keeps going, or might like bump into you randomly at a bar and be like, I know your face from somewhere. and I see maybe Danny Moore the type to be like, yeah, you know, I just used to be on this show. Whatever.
You think I'm one to give it up
got him.
faster?
Busted. Because
Wait
he's
a
from
second.
Jersey, Jorge. You got
Wait
him.
a second, Jorge. Let me tell you something about me. I guess we've never met.
You
I will go out of my way.
You've been away a long time. I
will
don't do
go out of
shines.
my way to make sure
that people do not know I'm on TV.
No, that I don't give it away unless they're really struggling.
You don't announce it when you walk into a bar.
Oh no, certainly not. But it's like, hey, I know your face from somewhere. The first thing I'm going to say is,
Did we go to high school together?
yeah, or I've been coming here a long time, or
Because it's usually a bar.
are you?
Drinks up to
Yeah.
that.
You know, I'm not willy nilly giving it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People that know too much about it,
I think he's.
I don't think that's a big deal. Like there are people who took this show very seriously.
Yeah.
Sure, there's people who still know Dave Magadan's batting average from 1992, so it's not. People can quote. People can quote stats, chapter and verse, and can quote our shows back to us. And sometimes I remember some of the lines, and I'm right there with them. And sometimes it's good to have people, refresh that stuff for you. So I think both kind of fans are probably okay. It's just that one of them keeps trying to buy Dan a drink in the bar. So that's probably
Which sometimes is okay, but then that can irk me when I'm like, I'm trying to get out of here.
exactly. So I think all the fans are cool, Jorge. I know there's more to that question.
There is. Let's go to it.
It's 2-part or 3-part.
Guy, the girl goes like, no, that's not it. Somewhere else. I like to fight you about where you started from, where you came from.
You want to fight me
That's
about
what-
it?
He's talking about the last question.
Do you think as quirky as the show was back when, not
likes
quirky,
that word,
bad,
quirky.
funny, oddball, kind of like
Quirky.
its own lane? Do you think this kind of show, Pete and Pete, would have lasted or prevailed in today's standards?
All right. Would Pete and Pete exist today? I think
Yes.
is the question.
No.
Yes.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would. I think it would be fine. I don't think it's. I don't think there's.
It would be a Tumblr.
It would be super weird still, but I don't think that it was like, like All in the Family would not work today.
Why not?
Because you wouldn't. I mean, I guess
Unrealistic. They would have killed the parents.
they would.
That's why you find it unrealistic. The married couple it can never dream of moving out.
Right. But I feel like that's one of the main comments on Pete and Pete is that there's no way it would happen today because of the sludge buckets and all of the the words
tough
that
to
little
say.
Pete would
It's
say.
really tough to say, Jorge. We flew under the radar enough that we could get away with some of that shit. you know?
Sure, but I think now you can say more shit in terms of
that's
like
true.
that kind of stuff. I'm talking about like
That's true.
we didn't have.
On Grey's Anatomy, they showed a burlap sack and called it an ass. They said the word ass on TV.
Yeah.
Which Pete and Pete?
So no.
Oh.
No. But I'm saying if you can say ass and shit on TV now,
Right.
which you can,
Yeah.
you can't say,
true.
like
Wait, you can say shit?
you can say
you can
shit
say
after
shit.
like
I'm
10
going-
o'clock or something.
What
I think
about
there's some weird-
9:59? You're on the
getting
news.
fined.
You're in the news at 9:59. You're like, this shit is crazy. Jay's up next.
Thank you, Jose, for those questions. Jorge. Jesus Christ.
You can fight him. He's from Ohio.
Yeah, he's
That's
from
right.
Southern
Full,
Ohio.
Like
You can go
a
after
card
him.
tape.
Nah, Queens represent. We'll shout out.
Oh,
Jorge.
okay.
All right, let's. This next one is a.
I can shout out Queens because it's in my blood. My
Yeah.
mom and my mom's side of the family. Yeah,
It's
that's-
much like Army insurance. You cannot get it because.
Yes, I could. Yes, I could.
Oh,
it would be direct.
Oh, it's a
you're
direct
USA.
lineage.
completely.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
you.
US like
I can't get my
USAA.
grandpa's.
Hey, guess what?
You can't get USA.
Get out.
My grandpa was yes. Okay, I deserve that. Yeah, he was a Navy veteran, so in theory I've never checked. Maybe
He
I
probably
should.
should run for president. Oh, he's dead.
He is passed on.
He could still vote.
Illegally. Yeah. Here's the next one.
Stop calling this fucking number and harassing me with that bullshit. That's the message I got for you and your weirdo friends.
We didn't call you, sir.
Wait, what? That's it.
Play that one again.
That's the whole
That's it.
voicemail.
Can you play it one more
that
time?
Again. Play that again.
Stop calling this fucking number and harassing me with that bullshit.
We don't call out with
We
this
don't
number.
call
Yeah.
you with this
That's
number.
the message I got for you and your weirdo
You know, this is
friends.
possible that it was just
You
like
and your
Sorry.
Weirdo friends?
Whittle, like Bugs Bunny, my Whittle friends.
Is that?
It could be somebody intentionally.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
WIDDLE. Listen,
Okay, I'm pretty sure my friends
Just
are
because that's
normal
what it's
size.
that's what it says
Yeah.
because it's
The transcripts.
dictated.
The transcripts are not good.
absolutely.
Let's listen to a fresh one.
Can we have time to just respond to it just for a second?
My friends are normal sized. I don't feel.
I mean, I've got small friends and big
I got
friends.
for you and your weirdo friend.
weirdo.
It's Whittle.
Weirdo.
It's weirdo.
No.
Got for you and your weirdo friend.
It's
Weirdo.
weirdo,
It's
bro.
weirdo.
It's super weird.
I mean, maybe I saw the Whittle and I was like,
Yeah, well, you think it's kind of funny then if the guy's being tough and then he says whittle.
every time I heard Whittle, you Whittle.
You
friends.
envisioned yourself
Well,
fighting Elmer Fudd.
And
with
I
fisticuffs.
envision my friends all sitting there in Cub Scouts whittling,
friend.
literally, like just
All right.
my whittle friends.
Let's
Whittle
play
friends.
let's play
Yeah.
a different one that's less threatening.
Yeah, there's no name to that one. So thank
Oh,
you,
really? Well,
Angry
guess what?
Rando.
Thanks.
Guess what, dude? We don't call out, so suck it.
Yeah, joke's on you.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
My name is Nathan.
Hi,
I am
Nathan.
from Minneapolis.
What's up, Nathan?
The Mini Apple.
Go Mighty Ducks.
All
go
right.
District 5.
Nice.
The reason I'm
D5
calling
for sure.
is Danny
D2 's
mentioned
my
on an episode of the show Hot Ones, and that it's a good show. I wanted to bring it up because I felt it was appropriate. I was watching an episode recently of Hot Ones, and
What's hot ones?
the host, Sean Evans,
You can pause it for a
that
second.
his dad thinks
For those of
only-
you who don't know,
Yes.
what Hot Ones is, it's a show on YouTube
Mhm.
that they get celebrities and
So not
and
actually a
famous
show.
people.
It is
I mean,
actually.
it is a show.
there's
It's a
hun-
hu- it's a
web
huge-
show on
It
YouTube.
doesn't matter. It gets millions and millions of hits. It's bigger than a lot of shit that's on fucking TV.
Go ahead.
It's a show,
That gets people.
and it gets a ton of people, and they eat hot wings, and they go from like mild to very hot to like the absolute hottest one they have, and it messes people up, and it's fun to watch because people think they can either handle it or
Yeah.
they don't know the show. The funny thing is, I know people who produce it, and they're like, yeah, these people just come on because their publicist is like, hey, do the show, and they don't really know what it is, and then all of a sudden they're eating
sweating.
super fucking hot like sauce, and it's amazing. You get these like really fun candid answers, and the host is real quick and like
It's a really great show.
It's great.
It's a really, great show.
well done.
And
We would crush it on
Were you
there. I'm
on-
just
were
saying
you
that
on
we
it?
should.
Easter egg.
No.
Easter egg, the host is a huge Pete and Pete fan who has brought it up before that Marla and I have seen. We're both big fans.
Oh, really?
Talked about Pete and Pete before
Oh,
on that.
well, then
yeah.
I should talk to my producer
You
friend.
guys should definitely
We should
get
go
on
on
that.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Sorry. Just to
one
give
of two
context.
hit shows holds up, and that's Pete and Pete. And I thought that was really awesome. It's
Oh,
sort of
so
fun
he's
little
saying that he heard it too.
So, Michael, Danny, Jeremy, if you guys want to get on the show, I'm sure they would love to have you. Eat some spicy wings. Thanks, big time fan of the show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for
Man,
the
I didn't
shout-out,
mean
Nathan.
to. I didn't mean to.
You blew
Steal
his
the
bubble.
fire.
I blew. Yeah, I stole his fire, but
Yeah.
that's great, and I appreciate
Do
that
dudes
you.
blow each other's bubbles, or you?
I think he
bust-
popped
you,
them,
You
yeah.
burst each
you
other's.
burst
burst
each
his
other's
bubble.
bubbles.
I haven't seen a
Bursted
dude
his
blow
bubbles.
a bubble in a long time.
You could blow my bubble if you'd like. I'll just
They-
hand you my gum.
That
you
used
put
to
it in
be
your
on
mouth.
Letterman in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, dudes blowing bubbles like that. They would have a cigarette and a tube and blow these huge
Ah.
bubbles.
I was. This has nothing to do with that, but I was random video popped up on YouTube where a guy had a cup, and this is like a life hack, a weed hack, where you have a straw in a big cup, and then
no.
you just put the joint in the other end of the straw, and when you need a little jointy joint, you just take a drink.
No.
And then I'm
Very
just
bad.
saying,
that's
it's
very thin plastic, and you
a
are
terrible idea.
you are then
no
heating up that plastic.
Wrong
That
end.
is no good.
No.
It's okay.
come on,
Every
it's not good.
all the food that Jeremy buys after midnight is wrapped in that plastic.
I really feel like the only time I'm around, like back in, we've talked about this. Back in the day, we used to make all sorts of contraptions and smoke them and throw them in the pond and Snug Lake. But
Snug
the
Harbor.
the only time now that I end up doing it is when Mike and I are away somewhere, and Mike always like has an apple. Like
Vermont. We've been Vermont.
smoke weed in the the fire.
Please don't give away all of our secrets.
When you
Yeah.
need to smoke weed in a hotel, you just go to the fire stairs.
Oh, okay.
That's what you do.
You don't pull the fire alarm, wait till everybody
No.
leaves,
No, you
because
don't do
then
that. No.
they're too busy
No.
smelling for fire to smell
No.
weed. I've
That's
noticed.
valid.
Yeah.
No.
That's a good college trick
It
too.
doesn't work. Yeah,
College
in
kids, if you're listening,
do
which
not.
nobody is.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying
do
that I
not
don't
ever
really
pull
do
the fire
many
alarm. It's
I
very
don't do
dangerous.
many arts and crafts with weed anymore, except when I'm with Mike.
All right, moving along.
Thanks, Nathan.
Thank you. All right, here we go.
Hey, Pete. Hey.
Oops.
This is a question for Danny Temporelli.
Okay.
I know that you guys been doing podcasts lately, and I was wondering if you guys are doing any more podcasts. Just wondering. It's just a question for Danny because I've been hearing not that much podcast lately.
I'll handle this one.
I'm just wondering if Danny knows anything about the next podcast.
Are
or
you
anything
okay?
like that.
No, he's trying to find out because we've not
toured,
been
yeah.
But he
we've
said
not
you
been
guys,
local.
but it's a question for Danny.
Right. So
I'm a
then
little-
why would you say you could answer that? I'm right here. I can certainly
Because
answer
it's
the
kind of
question.
confusing because he's asking about all of us, but the question is for Danny.
Yeah, he's posing at me because he thinks that you're probably mean and would make fun of him, and you're talking shit now.
It's just
so.
because of his stuttering. It's nothing mean.
Do you shall we go on, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's play it. Let's play it.
And I used to watch Pete and Pete since I was like a little kid, so it was a good show, and I just loved the show, and I missed the show even though it's canceled and whatever. But
It was canceled a long time ago.
Yeah,
sir.
I missed the show because
I
it's
like
canceled.
Danny very much. He
Oh,
was
well,
like a
thank you, man.
you
Big
know,
Danny
a brother
Tamborelli
to me,
fan.
like a role model to me.
Oh,
Other than that,
see,
I'm
I'm pretty
that's
sure
why
he
was
said.
asking
I'm pretty
me
sure he said
questions.
Mike's a role model to me.
That's not what he said.
You want to play it back?
Jeremy, yeah.
I'm pretty
You wanna
sure
play
he
it
said,
back?
He's like a role model to
Yeah,
me.
he said Mike's
He
a role
was
model.
like a little brother to me, like a role model to me.
Mike's a role
Almost
model.
sounds like
to
she-
me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a role model.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Like,
I think he
like.
thought you were a woman.
I'm not
Other
sure.
than that, just stopping by on the voicemail to say hello. And
You
stuff-
can do
stuff
that.
like
That's what
and
this
props to
voicemail's
Danny
about.
on the podcast. Thank you.
Stop by.
You're a wonderful fan, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
See, you can be nice, Mike. You know, you don't have to be mean. You at the end, he came around and said you're his role model,
I am.
or so you thought. I'm pretty sure he said like a role model,
Mm.
and he was talking about me.
Anyway,
so,
Dan,
thank
can
you,
you-
Luke. You
can
can
you answer
be
Luke's
the number
question?
one. You can be the number one fan.
Could you answer Luke's question? He's wondering if we have any
We are doing one right now for you,
new podcasts.
Luke. We go on the road and do live shows then we get lazy and we don't do the required car podcasting that
Yeah.
we all agree to and
With
then
the
don't
mobile
do.
podcasting studio.
It's tough. I mean, we do shows, and then it's a 2-hour thing where we're 3-hour. We're in there at the venues, and then you
We're,
get
we're
done
usually
and
crammed in with so much beer in the back of Danny's car.
between the beer, the creativity, the moving around. It's like it's tiring. So
We're getting on it. We're gonna
We're gonna bank some and try to make sure that we don't fall into a lapse like we just were.
Luke, we're doing more for
We're
you.
sorry, Luke, and I'm glad that you noticed.
Yeah.
At least.
absolutely. Thanks for listening too,
Appreciate
Luke. Appreciate that. Here, let's go to the next one.
Hey, it's the Lizard King himself, Jim Morrison.
What the fuck?
Wait.
He sounds weird.
Calling.
Wait a
He's
second.
not
Hey,
dead.
hey, I'm a long-time listener, big-time fan. Unlike Danny Tamborelli.
Wait a
who's
second.
not a
Did
fan
we hear
of
this
my groovy tunes that I made with the Doors.
I'm pretty
Anyway,
sure
I
we
wanna
heard this
know-
one before.
When you guys are gonna ride the snake, baby,
We can. I'm fine for let it go
Law.
again.
to the West Coast,
Okay,
specifically
specifically.
Portland, Oregon, where
Wow.
I've been hanging out since I allegedly died in 1970.
spoilers.
See, guys, you don't
Baby.
remember this? This is not familiar to you.
It's vaguely familiar.
We have the electric lettuce, which I know Danny Tamborelli.
now
is a fan of.
yeah.
Electric lettuce.
For
Yeah.
cheap.
It's true.
We
It's
also
very
have
cheap.
Nutella
It's
Pop-
very cheap in Portland, except the 20% tax is what makes it almost the same as in New York. So
That's not true.
We call that the Big Apple tax.
if you're getting top shelf,
Oh,
Weed
I'm
it
sure.
is.
Yes, yeah. But you can get $10 if you want.
yes,
Weird.
Yeah. Anyway.
Weird.
Anyway, yes, I
It's
think we did
cool.
listen to that one
It's
before.
great.
But shout
we
out
should
to
all
Jim
do that. I think Jim Morrison, fuck you. I hate you. I think your lyrics suck.
Speaking of being a jerk,
I think
You don't have
that
to
you're
hate on
overrated.
something. Yeah.
I think that Jim Morrison's overrated. I think your beard was a feeble attempt to be cool. I think
When did Jim Morrison have a beard?
he he definitely had a beard at the end, man.
Oh.
at
and,
the
uh,
end, that's what did him in.
Yeah,
Ingrown beard hair.
true. And guess what? Guess who bailed him out of jail in New Haven in 1968 or whenever?
You?
No, my uncle Richard. That's a true story.
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
Richard Loren.
Did he pay him back?
No.
Of course not.
No, he did not pay him. Did not pay him back. I don't think he worked with him much longer after that. But that's a story. And another reason why I hate Jim Morrison. You didn't pay my uncle back.
That's right. He cheated
Fucked
me.
up.
Yeah.
And who whips their penis out at a show anyway? Let's just talk about Jim Morrison for a hot second.
He broke my uncle's bottle of Hennessy VSOP and never paid him back.
Hey, that's from another podcast. But it's true. Let's see here. Jim Morrison.
I'm drunk, I'm nobody, I'm drunk, I'm
somebody,
famous, I'm drunk, I'm
fucking
dead.
dead. Yes, thank you, Dennis Leary. And that's a very good one. That's something that comes back around a fair amount.
Roll the tape, Jeremy.
Last one of the ep. Get ready.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about Jim Morrison.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike.
Yes, that's
What's
us.
happening, guys? Johnny Watsy.
Oh,
what's up, Johnny?
A third-time caller.
Third-time caller.
Yeah, third-time caller. The voice sounds familiar.
I think
I love that people.
I think we should let other people call once,
I
but
thought-
thank you, Johnny.
No, I think whoever calls in is allowed to call in. You want to be a repeat? You can be a repeat.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that people who decide, other than I think Jorge's voice, actually, that is his voice. I feel like people have some sort of they like to do characters. There's
They do. It's a bit.
There's definitely shtick involved in this voicemail. And if you're into shtick, why don't you give us a call at 347
470-8150.
Thank you. I'm glad I only remember the prefix.
Mike bailed you out.
Please tell me your area code.
Listen, I'm in the middle of a road trip with my fellow road dog, Frankie here.
What's up, Frankie?
We're in the middle of a
That
debate
sounds
about
very
whether or not
familiar.
dinosaurs could laugh. I totally think they could. I mean, imagine a pterodactyl shitting on a triceratops. You know,
This sounds like the kid from the Goldbergs.
I think it's totally plausible.
Whatever, Johnny. It's never been proven. All right.
It's true. You can't prove.
Dinosaurs evolved into birds, and I've seen a bird laugh.
Of course, a pterodactyl
I
would
don't
shit
know if
on a
birds
triceratops.
really laugh. I mean, specific birds might make a sound that resembles laughter, but I don't think they're laughing at people.
But a pterodactyl definitely shat on a triceratops in history.
100%.
Like 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
1,000 grand.
Yeah. 1,000.
Exactly. Yes.
There's a parrot at the Milwaukee Zoo that laughs his ass off. That's a fact.
There's a
What are you
parrot.
guys' thoughts on these?
I think parrots are cool. I really like parrots. I bring G. There's a parrot at the local hardware store in Williamsburg. Crest, not Quest.
Wait a second. They have a parrot too? Don't they also have a pig?
They have a pig
Yeah.
during the summer months. Franklin. And I don't
yeah.
know if the parrot has a name, but I know that my son has an intense relationship with both animals that he
needs to go.
talk to, he needs to visit and talk to them as much as possible, and then run the length of the backyard at Crest Hardware.
I had a couple run-ins with Franklin when my ex-girlfriend was living around there, and I had to put shelves up, and I had to go to Crest to buy them. And the pig was following me.
I guess the
don't
pig's
know
been
what
around.
I don't know what I had.
You had acorn-
I
you
don't
had
know what I
acorns
had
in your pocket.
on me,
You had
but I
acorn-
had something, and they were like, he was like way into me.
I was a retired DEA pig.
It was not
Yes.
a.
Yeah. He's not working.
Franklin
but
is
he
also
still
a
working.
retired customs pig. Classic.
Maybe it would bite you if you stole something. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I wasn't
the
trying to
extent.
steal. It's very hard to steal large shelves. It's
Right.
really hard to walk out of there being like, I'm just taking this. I'll be right back.
I just wanted to make my son's dream come true. Mike, when he gets arrested for trying to steal Franklin the pig.
Oh, just borrowing
Yeah,
him.
just borrowing him
Yeah.
for a
I
weekend.
don't know why I went Canadian with that accent. Like,
Well,
Canadian
I thought
bacon.
you were
thinking
saying
of
boring as a BOAR because of pig.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Boy.
should I get out again? That's two.
Listen, you,
That's
listen,
two.
you whittle weirdos. Jorge, I'm with you, man. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm not from Queens. I live in Staten Island and Manhattan, and I got nothing against the Bronx.
Yo, Mike Marona. Hey, man, I heard about what happened to you in Newburgh. You had one too many Danny and Mike custom bros and lost you. They said you got up on the table and started doing the Pee-wee tequila dance.
I was dancing.
Wait, what?
the P with the what?
is
The
What?
Pee-wee
Hold on,
tequila
Milburn.
dance.
Oh,
Was this in Milburn?
I don't remember that happening.
But you
He's
did
talking
fall.
about Milburn, New Jersey.
Oh,
which
No, he said
is-
Newburgh.
Oh,
Newburgh.
He was talking about our brew through tour 2019,
Right.
nostalgia personified.
Right.
Hashtag.
Is that where you fell?
No. Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, there
fall.
you go.
But I felt in the stairwell, not trying to do my Pee Wee Herman tequila routine on a table.
So, well, good to clarify.
But thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for staying up to date with the content that we generate.
Don't embarrass Mike like this. All right, we got to get back on the road. Catch you guys later.
Are those
Frankie and Johnny, ladies and gentlemen?
both Frankie and
Okay,
Johnny?
talk to you later.
This is
well.
We depend upon your feedback to let us know the direction in which we're heading.
Can you tell where those two people are from based on their accent?
Ooh, that's
I want to say Milwaukee, New York. They're in
Milwaukee, New York.
Yeah, it's a part of New York called Milwaukee.
Yeah,
It's an upstate part of New York near the lakes called Milwaukee.
I don't think it. I think it's further. I think Milwaukee proper, Wisconsin, is probably more like it.
They didn't sound like the kid from the Goldbergs.
I mean, no, I think it sounded
God bless
a little bit.
God bless Gary Doherty. God bless all the people involved with that show. The kid doesn't sound like he's from Philly at all. He sounds like he's from Wisconsin.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's a funny show.
If you're from Wisconsin and you would like to call us, give us a shout.
If you think that those people are from...
If they sound like pretzel eaters, if they sound like cheese eaters more than pretzel eaters, let us know at 347-470-8150.
Absolutely.
One of these days, I'm going to get that.
I'm going to get you a tattoo.
Yeah.
You don't need a tattoo. I made up a song for my phone number for Kate because she needed to remember it.
Go ahead.
What's your number?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do the...
Can you sing the tones?
Yeah, it's do 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 do
201-454-1986.
201 blank 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 blank.
There's no way you're at ESPN.
I used to
spells out ESPN.
I used to break down my phone number into 5 2-digit segments, and that's how I used to tell everybody my
5 2. You're an asshole. That's a terrible way to remember it.
Why? It's 10 numbers, and you just do 5 pairs. It was easy.
Oh, I don't know. That's such a European thing.
Yeah, I guess it was also wiping my penis after I urinated, rather than just pulling my pants up and letting the dribble go everywhere.
Good for you.
They're both so European.
That's right. Gentlemen, let's
calling it football and not soccer. Again, another affectation.
Making people pay for their
to go to the bathroom.
The urinoirs. Do you want to hold hands?
Yeah, let's bring this together. Let's bring it in. Okay.
We're bringing hands. We're holding hands.
Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this minisode.
We wish that we were holding hands with every one of you listeners.
We
right
are.
now. We are. My hands out.
Yeah.
Yes, with
I'm doing
a seance.
I'm doing the metal ball grab. That's weird to say.
Oh, a kid punched me in the balls the other day at the playground. I almost committed self-defense on this kid for serious.
Pushed him down.
The dad was nowhere to be seen, and I had just shared. My boss had just shared an anecdote about like a nephew of his also doing a ball punch, and I was ready to kill. But I didn't. I kept it inside. But that kid's dead. That kid turns 18.
I feel like
the day the kid turns 18, he's dead. I thought you actually buried him in the.
Oh, he's already died. I buried him in McGolrick Park, right where the punch happened.
You were just going to train G.
You ran into somebody that I know, but we can't talk about what our plans are on the air. But don't tell nobody.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thank you all for tuning in. Check out our network, the Last Podcast Network, lastpodcastnetwork.com. They got some great stuff.
Yes.
Story Must Be Told was great this week.
They're hosting a wedding live this weekend on Last Podcast Network.
I'm sure they're live streaming it.
I don't think
also, check us out online, DannyMike.com. What else?
Patreon.com, Danny Mike with the N spelled out.
Yeah, if you want to support, you can get a video version of this actual podcast that you're listening to. Give Michael here some love on Twitter, at Michael C. Morona.
Thank you.
Daniel's on there, at D. Tamborelli, or at Danny Tamborelli on some things.
And if Mike's not careful, there's going to be a Michael C. Morona Instagram account. Who knows?
I would love to do that.
You guys are so mean.
And I am at Remy Bellin on most things. Thank you all so much for tuning into this mini-sode. Thanks for calling in. We do appreciate it.
Thank you to our listeners who make this content possible.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balin. This podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at lastpodcastnetwork.com. Make sure to check that out for a ton of great shows. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the N spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.